Good morning. Thank you very much. You may be seated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you can find a seat, that's a good problem to have, right? When you're a speaker, it's a good problem to have overflow room, right? Well, thank you very much, James, for that wonderful introduction, and thank you for the leadership of this wonderful organization. Your unwavering commitment to advocating for the well-being of our veterans is invaluable, and it's an honor to work alongside you in this important mission. Before I begin, I would like to say a few words about the United States' commitment to our allies. Under my administration, we will never waver from our allies. We will never waver from Ukraine. The very ideal of not supporting our NATO partners and Ukraine, and that's an emerging democracy, is ludicrous. As long as my administration is in power, we will support NATO and we will support Ukraine. I find it really hard to believe that someone would come out and support Vladimir Putin. I find that really hard to believe. And go against our NATO partnership, the very allies that came to our defense on September the 11th of 2001, who invoked Article 5 for the first time in NATO's history. Article 5 of the NATO Constitution or the NATO standards say that an attack on one is an attack on all. And so the very notion of actually saying we won't support NATO, the very notion of saying that we won't support Ukraine is unheard of. And Ukraine and NATO, as long as I'm in power, have my 100% support. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished members of the American Legion, veterans and friends, thank you for inviting me to join you. It's a truly an honor to stand before you as we come together to recognize and celebrate the sacrifices and service of America's veterans. We gather here today in our nation's capital, a place where decisions are made that shape our future of our nation. But just as important today, we reflect on the men and women who have shaped our past, the men and women who have served this country with courage, with honor, and with sacrifice. It's because of you, the veterans, that we're able to stand here in the light of freedom and opportunity. To the veterans here today and to those who have served our country, I want to say thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your dedication, and thank you for your courage. You're the true backbone of this nation, and your service has given us freedoms we hold dear. It's impossible to put into words the debt we owe you. You have been there when our country called, whether in times of war or peace. You answered that call. You stood at the front lines of battle, and when the fighting was over, you returned home to rebuild your communities, to raise your families, and to contribute to the strength of our nation. Your sacrifices are the foundation of our freedom. The American Legion was founded on the principle of never forgetting our nation's veterans. And today we continue to honor that promise, but honoring you goes far beyond words. It's about action. It's about making sure that the men and women who have served in uniform are treated with the respect and dignity they deserve. Not just today, but every day. As we continue to move forward as a nation, we must ensure that our veterans are never forgotten. This administration has always been committed to improving the lives of veterans and their families and to ensuring that their sacrifices are honored, not through rhetoric, but through tangible change and progress. We are working tirelessly to address the challenges that many of you still face, from access to health care to employment opportunities and beyond. There is still work to do, but we are making progress. Veterans who fought for our freedoms should never have to fight for the benefits they've earned. This is a moral obligation and one that we take very seriously. We've expanded access to mental health services because we know that for many of our veterans, the battle doesn't end when they come home. We made it easier to get the care you need when you need it and where you need it. And we work to streamline the VA's processes so that your claims are handled quickly and fairly. But we're not stopping there. There's more work to be done, and we will continue to fight for the resources and support that our veterans need and deserve. The American Legion has long been a tireless advocate for issues like increasing funding for VA services, expanding educational opportunities for veterans, and ensuring that those who have served have access to quality, affordable health care. These are all priorities of this administration, and we will work hand in hand with you to see that these goals are achieved. But we also must remember that the families and caregivers of our veterans are just as deserving of our gratitude and support. The families of our service members make sacrifices every day. They endure the separation, the worry, the uncertainty, and the challenges that come with having a loved one in harm's way. And when our service members return home, their families continue to provide the support and care they need to heal and thrive. This administration is also committed to supporting the families of veterans. We will ensure that they have access to services and resources they need to build strong, healthy lives. We will work with organizations like the American Legion to make sure that no veteran's family is left behind. As we look to the future, I know that we must continue to be bold in our approach to veterans' issues. The work that the American Legion does is crucial, and the work we do together with you will continue to be a cornerstone of this administration's agenda. We must continue to push for better health care, more job opportunities, and improved benefits for our veterans. We must be bold in our vision, unrelenting in our efforts to secure the resources and support veterans need to lead successful, fulfilling lives after their service, whether it's through expanding access to education, supporting veterans in the workforce, or improving the overall quality of life for veterans and their families. We will stand with you every step of the way. The American Legion's mission will always be a priority for this administration. Together, we will ensure that our nation's veterans are given the respect and support they deserve. We will advocate for policies that honor your service, your sacrifices, and your strength. Together, we will continue to create a nation that's not just safe and secure, but a place where our veterans can thrive. In closing, let me just say this. Let's say it again, how deeply grateful we are for everything you have done for our country. You are the American heroes. Your courage and resilience and your commitment to our nation have helped shape the very fabric of our society. And as your commander-in-chief, I will always stand by you. I will never forget your sacrifices, and I will always, always fight for you just as you fought for this nation. And as a nation, we will never forget your service, your commitment, or your courage. Thank you for everything you've done and continue to do for America. May God bless each and every one of you, and may He continue to protect this country, and may He protect our troops. Thank you all very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.